As we approach Halloween, we've decided to take you on a spooky walking tour of Lincoln to see some of the allegedly haunted locations around the city. Join us if you dare. Starting at the bottom of the High Street, we will visit locations across Lincoln city centre where hauntings have been reported over the years. St Mary's Guildhall, Sibthorp Street. Built in the 12th century, the Guildhall has a history of apparitions appearing, ghostly footsteps, and objects moving on their own. New Theatre Royal, Clasketgate. Built in 1892 on the remains of the original building from 1806 that had burned down the previous year, the new Theatre Royal has witnessed several spectral figures and strange noises, but most prominent is the smoking man, who sits in the theatre smoking and may have been the person responsible for the fire. Jew's House, the Strait. Built in 1150, Jew's House is one of the oldest continually occupied dwellings in the UK, and home to reported poltergeist activity, including disembodied footsteps, voices, and objects moving on their own. Brown's Pie Shop, Steep Hill. Built in the 17th century, Brown's Pie Shop was originally a pub known as the Fox and Hounds. It is allegedly haunted by Humphrey, a young boy who likes to get up to mischief in the building. Greestone Stairs, Lindum Hill. Several spectres are said to haunt these ancient steps. These include a woman carrying a baby to St Joseph's Convent, a cleric in a hat and a long coat who may have been hung from the lamppost that still stands there. The most interesting though is the head of St Hugh, who after being declared as a saint, was cut up so parts of his body could be sent to different cathedrals. His head was kept at Lincoln Cathedral, but thieves stole the gold casket it was kept in and dropped it, making their escape. The head rolled down the steps and is said to continue to do so, often hitting people as they walk. Castle Hill Club, Castle Hill. The Castle Hill Club is said to be home to many different ghosts, but one is more infamous than the others. It's known as the Bottom Pincher. We'll let you guess as to why. Lincoln Castle, Castle Hill. Built in 1068 following the Battle of Hastings in 1066, Lincoln Castle has had a bloody history with its long-standing role as a host for incarcerations and executions. One of the most famous tales is the ghostly horse and rider from the time of the first hangings at the castle, and it's believed to be linked to John Knox, a local lord who may have been wrongly sentenced. Various figures, shapes, lights and sounds with no apparent earthly source, as well as doors slamming shut by themselves, have been experienced in the Victorian prison. Reported apparitions include the figure of a lady who has been seen walking down the stairs in the old Victorian women's prison. Cobb Hall in the castle was previously the site of the castle's gallows, and the figure of a lady in black has been seen walking the stairs there. The Lucy Tower is where many executed prisoners were buried, and the sounds of moans, growls and crying have been said to be heard there. Lincoln Cathedral, Cathedral Quarter. An ancient building dating back to 1092, Lincoln Cathedral has witnessed many tragic events including wars, plagues and battles, and the myriad of ghostly legends surrounding the building certainly reflect this. The ghosts of those buried in a plague pit are said to rise on the anniversary of their death and sing for their salvation. A cleric with a chain round his neck has been seen climbing the steps at the front of the cathedral. The bells have rung mysteriously by themselves. A procession of monks is said to roam the cloisters, and the spectral reenactment of a woman's jump from the tower in the 1960s. White Hart Hotel, Bailgate. Built in 1710, there has been an inn on the site since 1460. As such, the hotel is reputedly home to several spirits, including the Screaming Maid, who was allegedly murdered by an admirer whom she rejected. There is also the ghost of a girl in a mop cap and apron that has been spotted on the first floor. She was allegedly murdered by the hotel rat catcher. Also, a faceless highwayman who is said to have met his end in the old stable. The Lion and Snake Pub, Bailgate. The pub is partly timber framed, and one of the oldest in the city. Its ghosts are said to include several Roman soldiers, as well as an old lady known as the Granny with the Bun. The Strugglers Inn, Westgate. It isn't just people that haunt the old buildings of Lincoln. The dog of William Clark, who was hung at the castle for murdering a gamekeeper, is said to still search for him near the building and scratch at the doors. The Lawn, Union Road. Our final stop on this tour is The Lawn. Built in 1820 as an asylum for people suffering with mental illness, the buildings and grounds are said to be haunted by several spirits of former patients who have been witnessed crying and wandering the gardens and corridors. We hope you have enjoyed this spooky tour around some of the supposedly most haunted locations in Lincoln. Don't forget to check out our other Halloween-themed content from previous years, and don't worry about things that go bump in the night. Sweet dreams and happy Halloween.